Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Daddy's Life. Thanks for stopping in. If you haven't already, please subscribe and smash that like button. So yes, you are right. I am sitting in my son's playhouse. Today it is called a schoolhouse. I want to touch on the subject of homeschooling versus public school. Not gonna touch on the subject of private school because we don't really have any of those around here in my part of the country. But I'm 27 and I've got two little boys. One's 3, one is just turned 1, and we love our children to death. I would do anything for my children. But one thing as a parent is just having to just know that they're going to have to go to school at some point. And I do not want my children to go to school. I don't want them to go to college. But that's going to be their decision, when that time comes. But we want the best for our children, and we want our children to be as safe as possible. And we don't hardly let our children go anywhere. We don't let them go to my parents. We don't let them go to anywhere. We don't let them go anywhere without us. Just anything can happen. Even just here at our own house, there's close calls, where they're around a vehicle. Or just outside. We're always out here. But there may be just that split second where you don't have your eye on them, and bam, before you know it, something happened and you can't reverse it. It's too late. But just think of the things that happen around your home with your children on close calls, and then think, well, if I take them to a babysitter, they don't love your children as much as you do, and they're not going to keep an eye on them as close as you do. They don't have that connection with that child to want to watch them that close to make sure they don't get hurt. They're much more safer in your own hands than they are taking them to somebody else's house and dropping them off. But anyway, back on the school subject. Everybody knows what's going on in the world today and all these school shootings, and you don't know how your child's being treated at school. I don't want my child to be bullied. My children, I should say. I do not want my children being bullied. And I darn sure don't want my child being a bully. So it is our responsibility as parents to make sure that our children grow up the way that they should be. And that's not being mean and all that, blah, blah, blah. But I would much rather my children be homeschooled than going to public school, just based on those reasons mainly. I would see, my wife is a stay-at-home mom right now. She has been since about 1.5 years ago. She's been a stay-at-home mom, and we get by. We don't get by easy, but we get by. And I would much rather us just get by, and her be at home with the boys, taking care of them, having fun, bonding. I don't know. She loves it just as much as I do. It can be hectic, but we know how safe our kids are being in our own hands instead of taking them to some babysitter that you don't know. I'm not gonna do that. Not doing it. That's crazy. That is crazy. Now there's a lot of people out there that just can't do that. They've got jobs that they just can't, they just can't take away, or they can't step away from for a couple years. Unlike my wife. See, my wife works for my mom. My mom owns 3 group homes, and they know, they get along well, and so she can basically take off for a couple years and then come back. She's still hired. Here lately, she's been bringing a couple of the girls home with her, like 1 day a week, and they can hang out here for a day. And so that's just really what I think. But huh? I'll look at it in a minute. But I mean, that is what I think on that. I love my children dearly, and I don't want anything to happen to them. So I would just much rather them be in our own hands, where they're safe, or safer, where they are safer than they can possibly be anywhere else. We all know that they're much safer in your own hands than they are in somebody else's hands that don't love them as much as you. So I'm going to tell you, I choose homeschooling. I really don't want to take them to a public school. You know, people are like, well, you know, when your kids got to go to school someday. Well, no, they don't. They can stay home. They can stay home and learn just as much. Or people will be like, your kid's not going to be a social person or a people person. And, you know, that is your opinion. My children aren't going to be like that. I can tell you right now. The way that they are, goofy, and they're not going to be like that. So, I mean, people, they may think that stuff based on their own mind, but that's not what's happening here. And the time may change. You know, it may change come time in another year when our 3-year-old's 4, and I don't know. I just really hope that my wife wants to stay home and homeschool. Even still, if you do homeschool, you don't have to do it yourself. You could hire somebody to do the homeschooling in your own home while you're there. You know what's going on. So just kind of keep that in mind, guys. And I hope you guys like this video. Just a little short video on what I think. Tell me what you guys think. If you got any ideas or what you think, I'd like to know what your thoughts are. So leave a comment below, and we'll find out. And there's a wasp trying to get in here. I had to get his nest out, and I ain't really liking him. I'm gonna try to. Oh, might just leave him alone. Bye. Get out of here. Alright, guys. With that being said, I thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to get out of here before I get stung. I'm going to karate chop that little bugger.